Hello Aquarius, welcome to your monthly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the month of April 2023. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. Okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at this, Two of Cups, beautiful energy, nice love energy. Let's put that into some context. And let's use our Dove and Serpent spread. I do want to also say that if there is anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments, right? I take that very seriously. I read every comment, and that's the least that I can do to give back to all of you, okay? We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is the card that we set aside. And we don't look at this card until the very end of the reading, so you do have to stick around until the end. And hopefully that will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need, okay? So, excuse me, let's look around here. We've got some fire, some earth, some water. A lot of water here. And then we've got the major arcana. We've got some fire and some court cards. A little bit of air and water on the court cards there. A pretty decent mix of things. There is not a lot of air energy. So I wonder if this, whatever's going on this month, the way the energy is kind of established right now, there's a lack of communication going on. There may be even, as of right now, a lack of understanding how to communicate this stuff. Okay, I think there's a lot of this water energy going on. I think it's primarily something to do with your emotions, the way you feel about things. Okay, the connections that you have, the sense of meaning, the sense of purpose, the sense of love or of fulfillment, pleasure that you have. You know, the real satisfaction. Not the temporary satisfaction, but the really deep kind of soul level satisfaction that you're looking for. Okay? Let's start with the Two of Cups. This is some really great energy. You have a very, very high capacity for love. You know, I think that you are kind of a natural caregiver. You may even work in the medical field, perhaps. I'm kind of getting a medical vibe especially with this art or temperance card. I wonder if you're maybe like a pharmacist or you work with something like that, right? I feel like you really thrive in those relationships where there is a lot of affection, a lot of openness, a lot of reciprocating flow of this mutual support and love and respect and this nurturing, you know? I think that you really feel your best, feel like you're connected, feel like you are contributing, and you are working toward your own goals and your own fulfillment when you are able to express this side of you, right? When you are able to really connect with people, you know? I'm still getting this kind of medical vibe with you. I don't know if that is just in the context of, you know, working at a drugstore, being a pharmacist, a pharmacy tech, or maybe even with animals or something too. Maybe you're in the veterinary field, okay? But I feel like when you are dealing with people in need, dealing with patients or something, that's where you really feel like you're doing something. Feel like you're really helping someone. You're making a difference, you know? And I think that it's not just altruistic for you. I mean, you want to help everybody. You love seeing other people come out of their suffering a little bit. You know, you like seeing people get better. But it does something for you. makes you very aware of your purpose, very aware of how you are existing within this crazy, mysterious universe that we're in, right? Where somehow your actions, your deeds, the work that you do makes a difference. It has an impact. It affects things in the world outside of you. You know? I wonder now what kind of work that you do, or what kind of activities. Maybe you're post-career, you know, maybe you're headed into retirement, or you're in retirement. And this is something that you're doing not for the money, right? But for that connection, for that satisfaction, for that making of a difference. Okay? I feel like that's you in a nutshell, okay? At least for this month, I feel like that's kind of the vibe that you're in. That's the energy that you're giving off right now. Okay? But in the recent past, maybe last month, last few weeks, you haven't been feeling as well taken care of as maybe you have been taking care of others. You know? There's been a bit of a disappointment somewhere here. I think it might be with an air sign person. I think maybe that air sign person, maybe it's a Sagittarius person. I'm getting an S name and I'm getting Sagittarius. Okay. Getting something with the shoulder too. Do you have a shoulder injury, or did you hurt your shoulder in the last few months or something like that? Because I'm getting this feeling like you can't really move your arm the same way. I don't know if that has something to do with it, but perhaps there was an event like that, or a situation like this, and the person who should be the one to take care of you, perhaps wasn't really there. You know? Perhaps didn't really attempt to do the things the way you would have kind of done them for that person, or that you do for everybody else kind of on a daily, you know? So I feel like there's a little bit of a letdown there. I feel like it kind of was a disappointing realization that this person is not, they're not really interested in taking care of me the way I would have thought, or the way I would take care of them if they were, injured or sick. I'm still getting a shoulder thing. I think maybe it's something, some kind of an injury. Maybe prevented you from doing your work for a few days. But the point is that who was supposed to be there for you kind of wasn't. I feel like they were, but they kind of, like this card's kind of showing, they kind of half-assed it. They maybe would come, they'd bring you some food, but then I've got to go see my friends. Or I've got to go do some other things real quick. So it left you with this feeling that you weren't quite as important to them as they are to you. And I'm kind of thinking that it is a Sagittarius person in your life. And I feel like there's no air here, really. There is some air over here in the form of this court card. But there are no swords here, really. So I feel like this is kind of something you're not going to really talk about. You're not going to address it with them. You're not going to let them know that, hey, you kind of let me down. I'm kind of disappointed in your level of care or commitment or, But I feel like you don't have the will or the desire to have that discussion. It could be that it would just be a butting of the heads, that there would be really no way to no way to have that conversation that wouldn't just result in the two of you kind of butting heads. It would be an argument kind of any way you try to approach it. And maybe that's because you're still kind of in the feelings of it, you know. Maybe the feelings are so fresh, there would be no way for you to communicate that without starting an argument. Okay? I can understand that. I can understand that. I want to go to the immediate future now, because I'm not sure how we're going to transition to this future, but this is what you're hoping for. This is your ideal outcome. This is what you want to have happen right now. You want this person to be the perfect caregiver, the perfect partner, friend, family member, whoever it is. Really, I don't know. You want there to be this harmony and this equality, right? You want them to show you the same kind of love and support and care that you would show them, that you do show them, you have shown them before. You want it to be equal. You want there to be this harmony and this resonance like the Six of Cups. Okay? The Three of Cups that you feel, that you express to other people, because right, you're filled with the Two of Cups. That's you. The Two of Cups in action is the Three of Cups. Okay? So the same expression of love and commitment and care and affection and support and nurturing, you want to get that back from this person. I think Sagittarius, maybe S-name person. So you're really hoping for a Six of Cups, but I think what we had instead was the Seven of Cups. I'm sorry, the Eight of Cups. I'm looking at this Seven of Wands that we have here in your general energy, because this is also hinting to me that it's a physical injury. It's not like a medical thing. It's not an illness. I'm still feeling a shoulder, but maybe it's more kind of shoulder, neck, back, maybe like a pinched nerve or something like that. But I feel like it's affecting the kind of the shoulder and the back. I don't want to jump around too much, but since I mentioned it, let's just talk about the Seven here. I feel like you're still going through this. You haven't fully healed or recovered from this injury. I don't know if it's a sprain, if it's a pinched something. I hope you're seeing a doctor. That's all I can say. This is not to take the place of any kind of medical advice or diagnosis or anything. I'm not qualified to do that. I feel like you're still feeling this, though. You know? I feel like this is still, it's still affecting you. And I think we all could admit that when we are not feeling very well physically, when we have an injury, tends to make us a little bit more irritable, maybe a little bit more short-tempered. This is the fiery energy after all, right? The Seven of Wands. What's usually a balanced health, vitality. This is your kind of even-tempered. This is the Six here is when you're feeling at your best, your optimal kind of physical health and well-being and vitality, your strength. You're right at the sweet spot. It also affects your mood, your optimism, your temperament. Your temperament. Okay? Usually pretty balanced, pretty even, pretty just right in the sweet spot, right in the harmony with the Six. But what we have is the Seven. There is something off balance. There's a blockage there, which I think is either a sprain or a pinched nerve or something like that, right? It's affecting our mood, right? And I want to point out the similarity between the same situation, right? The Six is optimal, the Seven is what we have. The Six here is optimal, but that's why I called this a Seven. The Eight is what we have, right? The Eight is what we have. The Seven would indicate to me that maybe you are doing things that are keeping you in this kind of ill mood and this suboptimal health kind of thing, right? But with the 8 here, this is kind of an expectation that we are, something in our world did not meet our expectations, okay? So it's not you actively doing something to negatively affect your health and your temperament and your well-being. No, it's you kind of expecting that there was going to be a restoration, that there was going to be a nice, beautiful 6 of Cups. It didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way. And I think, again, Sagittarius, S-name person, I don't know who they are, if they're just a friend, if they're a family member, if it's your significant other, domestic partner, if it's a spouse, romantic partner, a lover, whoever it may be. I feel like down beneath the surface with the Princess of Pentacles or Discs, that you are someone who has always basically had to rely on themselves. This isn't the first time someone has not lived up to your expectations. So it's just like if you want something, you do it yourself. If you want rest and recuperation and relaxation and care and support, you gotta just be there for yourself. I think that's the Princess of Discs down here beneath the surface. It's kind of like you have to create what you want for yourself. If this Sagittarius person isn't going to do it, that's fine. That's on them. You can't change them. You can't control them. So this is really you falling back on your own abilities, right? Self-sufficient. This kind of nice, harmonious water energy would be great, but you don't need it to be okay because you are self-sufficient. You can create what you need in your life. You can manifest exactly what you need. And up above everything with the 4 of Wands, I wonder if it's time to wrap up this situation with this person. I think you're considering this. You're considering maybe this being the kind of the last straw. You know, the final opportunity. They kind of failed. Maybe it's time to wrap up the situation. The cards aren't telling you one way or the other, but are suggesting that this is something on your mind. Okay, this is above everything. This is kind of what you're considering. This is what you're looking at. Do I have to make a move here? It's almost like there's no air here. There's no communication. It's not something, you're not going to talk to them about it again. You're maybe just going to decide that you're better off doing things for yourself, doing things on your own, relying on yourself only. So it may be, maybe not completely ending the relationship, but changing the nature of it, changing the dynamics of it, changing your expectations of it. But now let's address the air energy that we do have. This is your greatest ability. It's kind of, this is your gift, what you have in abundance, right? And this is the Prince of Swords. This is air of air. It's like you have this great ability to communicate and express yourself. And I think you're a very outgoing, very charming person. I think that you have this gift of talking to people. Like you always know the right thing to say. You're the type of person that knows how to approach a difficult situation with tact, with skill, in such a way that it doesn't seem aggressive or combative, or it's very, very friendly, very natural, and that's kind of what you're good at, right? I wonder if you're in some kind of a counseling field, maybe. But it's interesting that we have such a talent and a skill for this communication, for this air energy, but we're not using it anywhere in this situation. It's like you've decided just, nope, it's not worth the effort. It's not worth me, evoking this talent of mine. So you have all of this natural ability and skill and a really great resource in the way that you communicate, the way that you can talk about difficult subjects with people and, do it in such a way that everybody feels good, but you're not doing it. You know, I don't know if this is a conscious thing or if you're just, if it's an unconscious, just withholding of this and basically not attempting to have this conversation. Maybe you've had it one too many times already and it hasn't made a difference, so you're not going to waste your breath, right? You're going to save the air. What we're worried about is the restoration of health and balance. I think this is an important factor for you right now, is just getting back to your healthfulness, wellness, your health, to get back to this, your kind of optimal level, your vitality. I think that is your primary concern, even though it seems like we're really here in these emotions. I think the emotional state here is delaying us returning to this healthful state. You know, I think this is the primary concern. That is what you're hoping for. That's your goal. So we have to get out of this water energy. We can't kind of linger, especially in this Eight of Cups. We can't linger here because that is going to affect our mood. It's going to affect our vitality, and our health and well-being is going to be affected by that as well. We need everything to come into a state of harmony and resonance, right? The final card is another court card. This is the Prince of Cups. This is, we had the Prince of Swords, now the Prince of Cups. This is maybe a different mode of communication for you. Maybe it's not about using the air energy in having this discussion, this debate, this rational kind of exchange of words and ideas and thoughts. Maybe it is about communicating on this emotional level, communicating your emotions, your feelings. All of this water energy needs to be expressed, maybe shared, maybe communicated. You know, rather than a rational, professional almost kind of discussion, it needs to be more of a sharing of feelings, right? And sharing of not just how you feel about this situation, but how you feel about the greater implications of this situation, right? I mean, this situation is one thing. What does this situation mean in the larger context of your relationship with, I think, Sagittarius? Maybe that S-name person. So I think that's the deeper discussion that needs to be had. Okay. And this is saying, maybe having this emotional kind of heart-to-heart conversation is going to reveal a lot and is going to, in one way or the other, resolve what's going on between the two of you. Now, that discussion may lead to that fight anyway. We said all along that maybe the reason why there's not this communication is because it's just going to be a fight. It's just going to be a fight. And I'm thinking this is going to be the Five of Wands. It's going to be that fight. I think that the only way to get through this and to get the truth out, to get all of the feelings out, and to really have that heart-to-heart might be to just do it. If it becomes a fight, it becomes a fight. If you have to argue and assert yourself, then so be it. Here's the Five of Wands. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight, but you know what? Having this heated discussion is better than staying cold and dark and dismal and depressed in this Eight of Cups energy. So, if it turns into an argument, so be it. At least this information is getting out. At least things are being shared. The truth is coming out, and things can progress. With this water energy, things are going to stagnate. Things are going to just get locked up and solidified and frozen. We need this heat, in order to get things moving again. Bring the activity back so there can be progress and motion and movement and development. Okay? So you got this. You got this. And whichever way it turns out, at least there is going to be progress. at least you're going to be able to move forward toward your own health and wellness and well-being, and not just remain kind of frozen and locked in these feelings, in this state of things as they are now, you know? Aquarius, we're here for you, okay? Rely on the community that we have here. There are a lot of great people that watch these videos, that that read the comments, that interact in the comments. So feel free to consider this a safe place for you, okay? And take care of yourself. Let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling. We're going to have an extended reading. If you want to click right here, you can have access to all of the extended readings. This was your monthly reading for April 2023 here on Dove and Serpent Tarot.